My name is Andrew Wilson. I'm the founder and CEO of GrowerIQ. Well, I started the company to solve a very specific problem within the burgeoning cannabis space. We sort of had a front row seat to the development of the legal industry being in Canada, and had a really unique insight on how we could be of value and helpful to producers, legal producers all across the country and now the world, where they were struggling with how to optimize operations, struggling with how to stay compliant and manage what can be very complex businesses. And so GrowerIQ was born to help solve that complexity and make life simpler for our producers. From a product development perspective, while I'll be the first to admit the work is never done, we have a product, it's in market, we have customers all over the world. We're in a really good place, while we still have a strong and ever expanding growing team that's continuing to work on this and develop the product even further. So our company, from a growth perspective, from a revenue perspective, we've been incredibly fortunate. We seem to have hit on a niche that's been really well received in the market. Last year, year over year, we had 300% year-over-year revenue growth. And we've now expanded into 13 countries around the world. So I think what we're seeing is validation of our hypothesis that we kind of went out into the market with, and it's being widely received and well received. So our hypothesis when starting this business was that producers, in order to really differentiate themselves in the market, they had to become tech first, technology first. It's agriculture, traditional agriculture has a number of different technological solutions that have been implemented in the space. However, it was very slow to cross that cannabis barrier. And so our theory, our hope, our vision is to provide these cannabis producers around the world with the tech tools to streamline their operations, improve performance, boost product quality, and really enhance the standards, traceability standards and production standards in this industry around the world. In 4 years, that's essentially a lifetime in the cannabis space. We plan to continue our expansion, continue our product development efforts, really cement our leadership position in a number of different markets that we're currently active in. So we see a continuation of the trends, both on the legalization perspective. New jurisdictions are coming online all the time. And we anticipate being really well positioned to reap the rewards of that legalization by having our tools pushed into the market and supporting new producers all around the world. Hardest part about running an early stage business, I would say, is that, at least for me, I can never shut it off. It's a real challenge because I want to be involved and try to add value across all the functions in the business, and yet at the same time it's impossible for kind of one person to do this. So I try my best to just really help support the leaders and the team that we have in place, and see how I can best unblock them to do the best work that they can. The satisfaction that goes along with having an idea, a theory, a hypothesis on a market, on an opportunity, on a technological problem that we can help solve, and getting it out into the hands of our producer customers and seeing them have value, seeing them save time, seeing them simplify their compliance reportings, streamline some of the audit preparation that goes into their day-to-day. It's really rewarding to see how much value our customers get out of the platform. What we do is we try to break it up into pieces. We try to break it up into functional steps where we can talk about micro parts of the process, or gates or phases where we get each deal through. And then we can even make that a little more granular. We can break it down and say, how do you get to this particular phase? How do you do the requirements gathering? How do you talk about and get through the diligence, the demo, the legal contracting stage? I think when we break it up into those kinds of pieces, then it makes it a lot simpler to manage that long and complex process. Our ideal target customer are licensed cannabis producers who participate in anywhere along the value chain, right? That production process, whether it's cultivation, processing, distribution, packaging, sort of anywhere along that chain. Those are our ideal customers, and it could be anywhere in the world. I think we've seen the most success in sales around producers that have a really high focus on quality. So producers with dedicated quality management teams, producers with a focus on perhaps medicinal, on perhaps a GMP level of standard when it comes to their production process. We've found a really high degree of success working with those producers because I think they really appreciate the value proposition that we've created, and we can also simultaneously help provide that value and create value for them. I would say producers who do only one part of the process might see less value in the platform if they aren't able to leverage the entirety of the GrowerIQ platform. There are certain license classes where you don't even need to possess the inventory, right? Sort of a resale model. I think those producers, we've found it to be a little bit challenging for us to demonstrate the value that we create when their license type, their model is a little bit different. So many times we see perfect prospects that take longer than perhaps we anticipated to kind of close and get over the finish line. And really how we look at that or what we attribute that to is just their stage in their licensing and business operational life cycle. So sometimes these customers, they're new business owners, they're starting this business from scratch. In many jurisdictions, this is a brand new space. It's still a brand new space, even in more mature markets. And so I think the one thing to remember is that everything takes longer than you anticipate. In our market, at least, we see that this space is growing and evolving so quickly, right? In the legal cannabis space, the frameworks change all the time. New product types enter the market. Our customers are continually pushing the envelope, trying to differentiate themselves and grow great businesses and solid brands. And so because things evolve so quickly, I think that's really been one of the greater challenges we faced is how to prioritize our time to work on the right things and support both our customers in what they're trying to do, as well as plan for where the industry is going. We prioritize our resources and the things that our team works on based on a number of different factors. So certainly opportunity size of a potential deal opportunity that we have come through the pipeline, as well as some of our strategic priorities from the long term. So we sort of look at three buckets. We see sort of our business as a stakeholder. What kinds of priorities do we want to prioritize or schedule for the future? We look at our customers, and then we also look at sort of our internal tech as a stakeholder. So we see sort of a Venn diagram of interests across these stakeholder groups, and we then prioritize or work on first the areas of overlap between all of those. So I think one or some impactful books for sure that have helped me during this journey has been, whether it's, I would say, Good to Great. It was an incredible book on kind of scaling up management. It's so helpful in order to kind of gain the experience from senior leaders who have done this and scaled businesses before, and in order to determine how to prioritize and what to work on. So Good to Great is one that I'm currently sort of rereading, and I would recommend it to everybody. I think my favorite part of this journey so far has been the opportunity that I've gotten to learn so many different things, right? Whether it's the tech, marketing, whether it's getting out into the world, part of the sales process. how to best optimize all of these areas and functions, it's been a wild ride, really, stepping out of my comfort zone and trying to figure out all these functions to put them together into a business that works as a cohesive whole. Golden Section has contributed to our journey immensely. I think during our raise process, we spoke with, must have been dozens, if not hundreds of groups and contacts in the space. And what Golden Section has put together is such a unique portfolio of services and expertise that kind of work together as a cohesive whole. So it's, while it's the start of our journey here, I think I'm excited to leverage, whether it's the product resources, some of the developer experience. I know there's a lot of financial management experience on the team as well. So I think from that perspective, there are quite a few different areas that I'm looking forward to work with Golden Section on. Having a firm vision and being able to stick with it. It's critical to have that trust and faith in yourself and in the team that you create around you, that you're on the right path, that in fact you have data, you have customers, you're creating value. And so trust your instincts to a certain extent and get out there and execute. So to me, I think community means the network, the group of people, whether it's the stakeholders in your business, in your life, everybody that comes together to add critical parts to the whole and support you on your particular journey. One of the keys, I believe, is to really attempt as best you can to have time that you carve out for your family, for yourself, for your friends, for the business, and not let any one of those particular areas become overwhelming, overbearing. Sometimes it falls out of balance, but really coming back to attempting to reestablish that balance between all of those areas, I find is so important. Well, I was fortunate enough to spend quite a bit of time in Spain. Spent about a year there and across different cities. I just am enamored with the culture, the people, language, the history, architecture. And so, yeah, I would love to spend more time there for sure. But that was such a great experience.